Settle down everyone. Today we're reviewing a serious game. A game so good it already has a sequel, and a television adaptation, and a theme park. It's available right now on Game Pass. Nope, it's not on PS Plus. And I say there is no more definitive proof that Microsoft has won the console wars for good. Reviews like this only come around once in a lifetime, just as games like this only come around once in a lifetime. We're taking a look at the game on Xbox Series S in graphics mode, as I'm willing to sacrifice a few frames per second for 4K ray tracing. We're just covering the base game, as that's what you get with Game Pass. Unfortunately, the extensive Pirate Adventure DLC is not included. And with that, we already know that My Friend Peppa Pig is worth your time, but we're going to harp on for another 10 minutes. The key word here is variety. My Friend Peppa Pig is just filled to the brim with different gameplay systems, all of which are easily learnable and fun. The game starts off with an extensive character customization section, in which you choose your gender, shirt colour, animal, fur colour, glasses and headgear. There are no stats attributed to each cosmetic, so you can feel free to look as you please. I myself spent hours perfecting my look. Once you're done, you then get a small tutorial section. This is your lead up to meeting Peppa, and allows you to get acquainted with the controls. Once you meet Peppa, the world truly opens up. Think leaving the Great Plateau in Breath of the Wild, only even grander. You can truly go anywhere in the Peppa Pig universe. Peppa's house, the school, the beach, even Windy Castle. In Peppa's bedroom, you get to select your class: medic, wizard, astronaut, even pirate, although that progression tree is locked off until you buy the DLC. Each area plays out like an episode, making the whole game akin to a Best of Peppa Pig television season. There is plenty to interact with in the world, and even major gameplay choices. For instance, I chose the dark path by turning off Mummy Pig's light so that she could no longer read. I then left Granny Pig's light on, which would cause her electricity bill to skyrocket and leave the family in financial ruin. Instead of delving into why each gameplay system is so revolutionary, I'm just going to tell you what games My Friend Peppa Pig is better than. To start off, it has selectable classes, so it's better than Battlefield 2042. There is a space section, and it was complete upon launch. Checkmate No Man's Sky. Towards the end of the game, there are some robot dinosaurs, and you don't have to stealth kill any of them, so it's far better than Horizon Forbidden West. There are multiple drivable vehicles: cars, buses, bikes, even a hot air balloon. Does Forza Horizon 5 have a drivable hot air balloon? You already know the answer. There is only one tower to climb, and once you're up there, you get to use your telescope to discover new locations. This is very streamlined compared to Breath of the Wild, as in that game you have to climb a bunch of towers and it's really repetitive. There is even farming, and your crops don't ruin because you forgot that the season was changing today and Stardew Valley just got replaced as the best farming game. Every system has simple one-button controls, and it makes switching between gameplay systems a breeze. Now, this is all well and good, but I do have some issues with the gameplay. First off, the pirate class does feel neutered due to the progression being locked to the DLC. This feels a bit scummy by the developers, honestly. I'd expect this from Activision, but not the makers behind Peppa Pig. Secondly, there is no world map. I got very lost in the vastness of the open world. I completely forgot how to get back to Windy Castle to save George, but we'll get onto that more in the narrative section. There is no active quest log. I had to keep track in my head, and that amount of thinking made my brain hurt. Finally, Peppa just constantly ruins the pacing of the game. I'm here trying to select my class, and Peppa wants to go outside and play. Peppa, shut up! I'm trying to take my time with the experience here, okay? All of these choices are very important. With all that in mind, I can only give My Friend Peppa Pig a 3 out of 5 for gameplay. There is a lot of variety in the systems here, but depth is lacking. And you may say that this is a children's game, but when I was 3, we had Mario Kart Double Dash. It's safe to say that the children of today are being robbed. The art direction here is so close to the show that I can't even tell the difference. Every location from the show has been lovingly recreated down to the finest detail, and the art style is perfect. Each area is distinct and always a joy to look at, with popping colours and simple lines. Sound design is top notch, everything sounds just as it does in the show, and it's clear that a lot of care was taken by the devs to get the game looking and sounding as good as possible. The OST is phenomenal, once again, ripped straight from the show. I myself have been listening to it whilst writing this script, and I've not gone insane yet, I promise. UI design is phenomenal. It's nice and simple, which is great for kids to understand. Button prompts are nice and distinct in the world, whilst still being thematic. This is a great melding of art direction and gameplay. I have no complaints here. My friend Peppa Pig gets the full 5 out of 5 for art direction.
They're new, silly. I'm going to show them Snowy Mountain, the beach, everything, even Potato City.
Excuse me, Peppa. Don't spoil the story. This game gets so dark, you guys. It starts out all nice, but then George gets left behind at Windy Castle and becomes the villain. I really hope that you get to play as him in the sequel. Neil Druckmann would weep. There are a lot of story arcs at play here, and the game juggles them masterfully by keeping them simple. You can also tackle each story section in any order you choose, which is great for player freedom. Unfortunately, this can lead to some narrative disconnect. Why are we helping George find his dinosaur when he tried to kill us in the last chapter? This doesn't make any narrative sense. Honestly, I'm conflicted. The narrative structure here is very reminiscent of the show, but I feel like the storylines are too simple, and there is no overarching plot. I made all of the evil choices, but there is no bad ending, so I didn't learn any lessons. I don't think there's any moral to this story. I'm going to give my friend Peppa Pig a 3 out of 5 for narrative. Yeah, that feels right.
Dinosaur!
No, George, I'm afraid there are no dinosaurs up there.
Dinosaur!
But you can take Mr. Dinosaur with you.
Dinosaur!
My friend Peppa Pig is a solid content offering with some nice settings, but it is a bit of a technical mess. In terms of content, you're getting a full open world with plenty of activities to partake in. You do get free save slots. We did run into a few bugs, lots of graphical glitches, which is frankly unacceptable as I was playing in graphics mode. There was also a lot of stutter when cutscenes would load. We never lost any frames, however. There was also one spot at the end of the game where the universe split into 2. This is too much of an existential nightmare for me to deal with right now, so yeah. Settings wise, here's what you can tweak. You can choose between performance and graphics mode. There are sliders for master, music, speech and SFX volume. There are major language options, all of which are voice acted. You can also enable subtitles. There are no further subtitle options, and this is a problem. Whilst the subtitles are nice and big and have a background, the font used is not the clearest. It is readable, but younger kids might struggle. I know I did. An option for a less thematic, clearer font would be nice. There is also an option to limit play sessions to 5, 10, 15 or 20 minutes if you so wish. This creates a natural break in the gameplay and is actually a really great quality of life feature. Unfortunately, you cannot remap controls to your liking. This isn't a massive problem as the game has simple controls, but it is something to be aware of. Overall, we're giving My Friend Peppa Pig a 3 out of 5 for specs. The content offering here is solid, and there are some nice options, but the bugs we experienced happened quite a lot and did ruin the experience.
Dinosaur!
It took me around 90 minutes to 100% complete My Friend Peppa Pig. You can easily split the game up into chunks if you would like, as autosave seems nice and frequent. I'd also like to make special mention of the timer feature. This simply creates a natural gap in the gameplay. And seriously, can we get this feature in more games? Like, if I've been playing Elden Ring for 8 hours straight, can my character just go home to bed and be sad about being maidenless so I can get some housework done? I'd appreciate it, FromSoft. Hard drive footprint is nice and small at 3.2 gigabytes. There is a DLC that costs around £5 or your local equivalent. This includes 30 new activities and multiple new locations. If you've been craving the greatest pirate game since Assassin's Creed Black Flag, then I'd say this is reasonably priced for what it is. Do be aware that in order to get the most out of the game, you will need to learn all of the Peppa Pig lore beforehand. This is an optional extra, so we're not going to knock a point off, but just know the effort is worth it. I've got no issues here. My friend Peppa Pig gets the full 5 out of 5 on our commitment scale.
Are you with us, George?
Dinosaur!
It seems that George has found his favourite room.
My friend Peppa Pig is absolutely worth your time. A true timeless masterpiece. As a kids game, this is a solid introduction to gaming. As adults, we had a bit too much fun with this. Sure, we made fun of it, but it was a hilarious 90 minutes. And that's it, the channel is over. I'll delete it in a week as this was clearly our magnum opus, and it's only downhill from here.
Ooh, we're playing a tune and we're singing a song with a bing